Because I remember when I had the Canon EOS R, I would get such a huge crop. Seriously, worse than shooting with a crop sensor camera. So now we're gonna see if the Canon R6 and Canon R8 crop the image when shooting 4K, 24 and 60 frames per second. To know whether there's a crop or not when shooting in 4K, we need to know what it looks like when shooting in 1080. What's up guys, Dan Frullani here and welcome back to a new video. What do I talk about today? Something about two of my favorite cameras, the Canon R6 and the Canon R8. They're here. This is the Canon R6 here, and here the Canon R8. I'm gonna put them back. So, what about them? I got my Canon R6 in 2021, January 2021. First of all, I love that it's a full frame camera and the fact that it has C-Log 3. And I enjoy shooting in slow motion with it, but 4K 60. What concerns the 120 frames per second, the Canon R6, sometimes, quite often, I get too much digital noise. But for everything else, I love it. Then I got other cameras like the R7, and then not long ago I bought the Canon R8, and man, I like it. Basically it does everything the Canon R6 can do, plus when shooting 120 frames per second for slow motion, I think its quality is better than the 120 frames per second of the Canon R6.
It's a strange kind of phase when you let go, let your life flow like a river.
However, that's something I found out after using it, because the main reason why I bought the Canon R8 is because it's a full frame camera, and according to what I read and what I've seen through different videos, it's not supposed to crop when shooting in 4K, 24 or 60 frames per second. And that's something important because I really want a full frame camera when shooting at all resolutions, because I remember when I had the Canon EOS R, man, it wasn't possible to shoot in 4K. I mean, it was possible, but I would get such a huge crop. Seriously, worse than shooting with a crop sensor camera. So now we're gonna see if the Canon R6 and Canon R8 crop the image when shooting 4K, 24 and 60 frames per second. That's something that I don't know yet. I will see it in the footage with you guys. To know whether there's a crop or not when shooting in 4K, we need to know what it looks like when shooting in 1080. And that's something I just don't do. I stopped shooting in 1080 since I sold my Canon EOS R. I remember shooting in 1080 with it and then upscaled the footage to 4K in post. Man, the results were great because the 1080 of the EOS R was just wonderful, but that's not something ideal, you know. So let's see the Canon R6 and the Canon R8 in 1080. So that's the starting point. Now we'll see if there is any kind of crop in the R8 and the R6 when shooting in 4K, because now we're gonna see the Canon R6 in 1080 and in 4K, 24 frames per second. And now, let's see the Canon R8 in 1080 and in 4K, 24 frames per second. Alright, So what do you think about it? Leave a comment down below, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And check the links in the description to see all my gear, stuff and things, my gear. And check the link to Artlist. You can get 2 months for free if you subscribe to an annual plan. Alright, so we have seen that the Canon R6 when shooting in 4K gives us a little crop. Not a massive one, but it's a crop. When we use the Canon R8 in 4K, we don't get any crop at all. Some cameras, like Sony for example, gives us some major crop when shooting in 60 frames per second. Let's see if this is the case with the Canon R6 and R8. So let's see.
Here we go again, you think by now I'd know better. Locked in my head, romanticizing forever. Last love I found.
Now let's see the Canon R8.
Roses died. Swore I was through, but looking at you, I think I changed my mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Dive in at first and all of it. Oh, what a rush looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it.
Alright, again, let me know what you think about it and leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. So we have seen that when we shoot with the Canon R6, we get some crop. Not a massive one, but we get some crop when shooting in 4K. But good news is, when we shoot in 4K 60, we don't get any additional crop. That's good. When we use the Canon R8, we don't get any crop. We can shoot 1080, 4K, 24 frames per second. 4K 60, we don't get any crop at all. And this is one more reason for me to love this camera. Alright, I think I don't have anything else to say. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh yeah!